We are here in New York Empire Gym, going crazy right now. They're one of the highest teams in the league, and the pressure is definitely on. But before we go to the action, let's just review some of the action from the day. Starting off on the early flex, the checkers getting the best of the Skylarks. The Skylarks just not putting it together. Um, not getting enough out of Vito, not getting enough out of Vasiliev. The checkers get themselves off the ropes. Cats, I mean, they just keep proving day in, day out that they're top tier in the league. The Cats, 5-1 versus the Reapers. Got a good performance on Leche. He's really coming up. He's getting better every week. Led the team at index, but so Coach Worst is something to look forward to. But Boston's got it going on. Phoenix surprise win over the Gold here. This is a commanding win. Pelletier and Nagley splitting the dashing, and Greeley going crazy with an 80 index, 18 points. And the Gold just didn't look like themselves. Middleton 7 points, but he in less than 50% efficiency. Obama 27% efficiency. Just need way more from them. They were just off today, and they just seem to not be able to get it done in the desert during the season. But in the postseason, they're 2-0 here. Weird. Margays finally have a nice, strong win in Philadelphia versus the Blackers. Pascal 11 points, 62.6 index. Willis was playing like he was last year, and 14 points, 9 for 8 throwing, 71.5 index. But you got to have more of a team around you, and you just didn't have offensive help. Simeon 6 for 2, Madison 5 for 4, offensively surprisingly, but it wasn't enough. And so the North continues to get more interesting. Gremlins, pretty easy win here. 13 for 13 throwing for Sebastian, 78.6 index. And Mills, not to be outdone, 3 for 3 throwing, 10 for 8 catching, 92.9 index with 4 interceptions. Gremlins just really starting to get in their flow right now. As far as leading things for the captains, but his numbers aren't looking that good. He's kind of floundering mid-season. And the Pharaohs, strong win over the Diamonds. Charlie, not to be outdone by others, 7 for 7 throwing, but Tam 8 for 7 throwing. So both these guys doing pretty well, 64 efficiency for both of them, right next to each other. That's what Candleson wants to see. And they had help from Dante, 6 for 4 throwing, 5 points. So that's what they really need. They need Dante to keep playing, and they need Tampa Charlie to have good games like that to win. The Diamonds, despite everybody saying they're untalented, they've held their own for a little bit, but they just didn't put it together today. And Sea Dogs, 5-4 win over the Dizzy Devils. This was a really good game. Kruger, he extended himself. 7 for 11, 12 points, 65.8 index. McFadden, he had 5 interceptions. They weren't looking at him, but he made himself known in the game. The problem was Durant was just pitiful. And a team like the Sea Dogs, you can't really do that. You got to have 3 of your stars on fire. But Curtis, he's just playing so well. And Miller, good game for him. And I don't know how long the Sea Dogs can get away with just having 2 players that are really good. Skogstad, everybody remembers that week 1 heroics, but outside of a couple of sets on that week 1 game, he has not been spectacular. But the Sea Dogs, they head into the middle of the season 4-1, so better than a lot of people would have given. Interceptors, embarrassing win over the Scarlet Ember, but Scarlet Ember sink to 0-5. They played strong. Jack played like he was still good. Rutledge finally showed up, 60.3 index. But Kyle turned it on when he wanted to. It was really iffy, but he turned it on when he wanted to. McCarron stepped in the clutch. Cardi saved the game with his only point. So it was not a great showing for the Interceptors, but alas, they got it. And the Toros just showing that they're back. They took one season off, they're back. Um, Reed played amazing. 10 for 10. I look at all these great throwers this week. 10 for 10 throwing for Reed. 71.7 index. Ricky stepped in, though. We hadn't heard much from him this season. Vega, 2 interceptions. Didn't really do much outside of that. And the Toro, I mean, Dragonfish were kind of sleeping. Iggy Anthony didn't do anything. Thomas didn't do anything. Look at Robertson, 10 for 10. I mean, just such efficient throwing this week from a lot of the top throwers. The Dragonfish, 100% execution. So they were able to stifle Reed when they could, but it's just hard to keep him down, especially when you split dashing 5-2. So let's get to the action as we go to New York, where the Empire take on the Silverbacks. Now, you know, when this game was first appeared on the schedule, it seemed like it was going to be a much more raucous environment. I was going to probably be 3-1 versus 3-1. Could have been 4-0 versus 3-1, but they both suffered losses last week. But that doesn't take away from how good both these teams are. Silverbacks, they made a lot of moves in the offseason, bringing in Temp, bringing in Zavitz in the draft, getting Nicole with a trade with the Cats, giving away Somerset and Salazar. They're just hoping Salazar has a breakout year this year. He's been known to underperform. They're just hoping that he gets it together. The Empire also made a whole bunch of moves this offseason, getting Gersten Streets, restructuring Thompson. So everybody's happier, everybody's locked in. And the success is back in New York. So both these teams, if they do it right, they'll host their own division game. So for Coach Ramos, you know, he reevaluated some things, just refocused on the team. And they're going to be going at Salazar first, Temp second. And for Coach Green, first year guy. Well, it's not his first stint in the league, but it's his first year with the Silverbacks. And he's going to be going at Gerst. I mean, just trying to get the distraction out of the way so they can get to work on the offense. And then focus on Thompson and Richard. So let's see. Zavit's great dasher, but Streets is a great dasher as well. So let's see what happens. And Streets starts it off. Empire entering their 4th home game. They're going to have a lot of away games in this backstretch. And Salazar catches Richard to start things off. That's what they want from Salazar. They really want him to exploit his all-around, but Gerst catches. Defensive back and forth. And Streets throws for Solomon. Solomon intercepts. Only catches so far. Temp now throws for Gerst, and Gerst dodges. And you can waste a lot of time going for Gerst, especially a team like the Silverbacks, because they're going to listen to Coach Green, and they're going to keep going at him. Now Temp throws straight for Gerst, and Gerst is finally out. Holcomb with the ball. Throws to Temp. Temp out. Now Nicole, the rookie. His numbers used to be a little higher. He slumped a little bit, but he gets the point. Holcomb now throws up to the rook. And Nicole is out. It's all on Zavitz, the other rookie. And he's going to throw for Holcomb. Holcomb out. Zavitz gets it. Empire, they just got to get some offensive points here. Get the ball rolling. Streets get the set start. 2nd in a row. Richard throws to Zavitz. Zavitz out. And that's not what they need to be doing. Salazar now throws. Thompson can't get the interception. And now it's up to Richard. Richard throws for Salazar. Salazar catches. The man's having a pretty good game. Leads the team in index for the season. Throws for Gerst, and Gerst is lights out. Streets throws it up to Salazar. Salazar finally outed, but they still got a whole 105 thrower in Temp. Throws for Holcomb. Gets him out. It's all on Streets. And now the main thing the Empire rely on is their depth, so getting out their stars quickly really hurts them. Temp now throws for Streets, and Streets is out, and the Silverbacks take the 2-0 lead. And they're just looking like they're the better team right now. Streets gets the set start again. Now Holcomb throws for Salazar. Salazar out. Temp now. And it's Thompson. Interception. They're trying to get back in this game. Throws up to Richard. Richard throws for Solomon. Solomon out. And it's for the youngsters now. Nicole going to throw for Gerst. And Gerst catches. Can't face the pressure. That's what melted him down last week. Zavitz outed by Richard, and the Empire finally on the board. Last set before halftime, and Streets is still perfect dashing. Thompson up to Richard. Richard to Salazar. Salazar out. Now it's going to be Temp to lead this through if they want to win this. Throws for Richard. Richard out. Now Temp knows a little thing or two about playing in the North. Played there for 2 years with the Blackers. Temp dodges Streets. Now Temp throws up to Gerst. Gerst another dodge. What do you expect from him? Streets now throws. Solomon tries to intercept. He cannot get it, but he blocks for Temp, which is great because they need the offensive firepower. Throws for Gerst, and Gerst catches. Empire starting to get their stride. Streets now up to Nicole. Nicole is out, and now Zavitz. When he throws for Gerst, another dodge. They're going to waste their time going after this guy, and that's his benefit. He's just so good you can't not go at him. Zavitz. Now back to Gerst, another dodge. Now Streets throws for Zavitz. Zavitz has held his own. He had a couple of dodges, but heading into halftime, Empire tie things up after not looking so good the first 2 sets, but they answered back with a shutout set. Just a 1 point allowed set. Salazar's been quiet back half. And Gerst has been wasting, 11 targets, 5 dodges, 3 catches. So he's been wasting a lot of their energy. That's his design. Take the pressure off the offensive guys. And it's been just kind of all around smattering from Streets and Richard and Thompson. Everybody's getting in on the game for the Empire. Silverbacks. Temp's doing okay. Salazar okay. They need help from Nicole. They need him in games like this. It's a playoff atmosphere. If they're going to be successful, they need Nicole to come through in games like this. Solomon needs to come through in games like this. But thanks to sponsor Amazing, Charlotte-based broadcaster. Follow her, The O Show, on YouTube. And obviously a global sponsor, Saturn, working to eliminate wasteful plastics, their newest project. Stay tuned for that in the upcoming month. And we'll get back to the field now. Now narrow Streets versus Zavitz, and Streets, 5th straight set start. There's people saying he lost a step, but it does not look like it. Richard now going to throw down to Salazar. Salazar out. And up to Temp. Got to take the team on his back. And Richard out. They got to just stay away from throwing at Gerst. Don't just ignore him. Solomon gets the interception. This is what they need. It's exactly what they need right now. Temp going to throw for Gerst. Gerst is out. Now Thompson throws up to Temp out. Now up to Nicole. Nicole needs more than 1 point. Throws to Thompson. Thompson out. A little more confidence from him. A Holcomb now. Throws to Solomon. Solomon with the catch. Silverbacks take the 3-2 lead. And now Streets, 6th straight set start. Richard throws down to Salazar. Salazar out. He's been very quiet the past 3 sets. Temp now throws to Richard. Richard out. Temp's just having to have to take it over, and that's what they want from him. In situations like this, Streets and Temp with the catch. He's really rallying here. Temp now to Gerst. Gerst dodges. 7th dodge of the day. Thompson now throws to Temp. Temp out. And they have the advantage, but can the rookie pull through in the clutch here? Throws for Gerst, and Gerst another dodge. 8 on the day. Have to check the record book to see what the record is. Solomon now throws. Thompson gets Solomon out. Nicole for Gerst, and Gerst is out. Can they last this thing? Thompson up to Nicole. Nicole with the catch. He has it right now. Nicole now for Holcomb. And Holcomb out. Nicole 3 points. With Temp 2 and the Silverbacks trying to get the out of division away. This is one of the hardest games to play, out of division away versus a top tier opponent, trying to get the win. And they're one set away from it. And Street's still perfect dashing. Can the Empire come back in this thing? They need flex from Richard. They need flex from Streets. And Salazar with the interception. Salazar coming back now. Throws for Thompson. Thompson catches though. Stops that momentum. Empire still have a chance. Throws for Temp. Temp is out. It's on Nicole now. I don't think he can get through this slalom. Throws for Thompson. Thompson out. Now up to Streets. Streets throws for Nicole. Nicole is out. And now you got the defensive backcourt. Solomon now throws for Gerst. Gerst, 9th dodge of the day. Streets now throws for Zabitz. Zabitz is out. Solomon now trying to hold guard. Throws for Gerst. 10th, double-digit dodging. This might be a record for dodges in a game. And now Streets gets Solomon out. Empire extending things. Street still perfect on the day dashing. Just one more set and it's a tie game and it's brand new. Richard for Salazar. Salazar's out. That kind of evens things up. Temp now. Throws for Streets. Streets out. I mean, Salazar 46 index right now. Temp outed by Richard. So he's not having the best game. Nicole throws for Thompson, but Thompson dodges. Now Richard sights on Zavitz. Zavitz is out. I don't think this is a pretty tall order for the rookie. Throws down to Thompson. Thompson catches. And now Richard gonna throw for Solomon. Solomon out. And the Empire tie it right back up. You got Richard playing great. 10 throwouts on the game. 4 for 4 that set. Thompson, he's really being the all-rounder that he's billed to be. Streets doing his thing, 8 points throwing and 8 dash wins. Gerst doing his thing with 10 dodges. I mean, the Empire are playing their part. Silverbacks, they want a little more from Salazar, but this is playoff atmosphere, so you can't really get too mad at the guys right now. And Streets, perfect 9 for 9 on the game. So Richard, down to Salazar. Salazar is out. Empire looking to try to win this one now. Temp throws for Richard. Richard out. 4 to 4. Streets throws to Temp. Temp with the catch. Temp now. He's going to try to take it on his own. Throws for Thompson. Thompson out. And it's on Holcomb. Gerst going to get the ball. Throws for Temp. Temp is out. Now up to Nicole. Can Gerst be the stonewall? Throws for Gerst. Gerst another dodge. 11 dodges on the game. And now Solomon can't get the interception. It's 2 for 2. Nicole, it's all on his back right now. Throws for Gerst. Gerst is out. And now Holcomb, last one left for the Empire. And he throws for Nicole. Nicole is out. It's on Zed. It's the rookie. Can he come through? Probably. It comes down to that. And Holcomb with the catch. And the Empire win barely on a shoestring. You couldn't ask more from Nicole. Don't get mad at him for back-to-back crumbles in 9-set games. He's just a rookie. He played well. He got Gerst out. Blame Salazar. He disappeared in the backstretch of that game. Major. But, I mean, hey, this was what we came here for. This is why this game was flexed up. Both these teams can bring it. It's just unfortunate that the Silverbacks in back-to-back games have been on the losing side of very close games. I mean, Salazar, look at his numbers. 9 for 3 catching. I mean, he had a great catch average, so they were throwing great things at him. I mean, he had great averages across the board, but they had his number. Temp 15 for 10 throwing. Nicole, 11 for 6 throwing, but he was up against a tough crowd. I mean, Gerst. I mean, look at Gerst. 11 for 9 dodging. I mean, nobody really cares about dodging, but I mean, when you're good at it, it really changes the tint of the game. Like Gerst 2 for 2 throwing, Richard 14 for 11. I mean, just a team win, 72 participation from this team. Streets 9 dash wins. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's what you have in playoff atmospheres. Everybody's being taxed, you know. And the Empire, they held up better. We'll see you next week when the official red rankings start and we know who is who in the league. Thank you for joining us. Signing off. Goodbye.